Before we begin, thank you to those in the previous Canadiens video who commented Sebastian Kohlberg, because that was our very interesting little comment section keyword. If you want a chance of being featured in the next Canadiens video, then stick around to the end of this one for the new keyword. Quick video here. I don't really know how far I want to go with this one, if we're going to use the ones gameplay, or if we're going to use Laval, or if we can go long enough to use some Hut, but Cole Caufield is not the answer. At least, right now. We know that the Montreal Canadiens are in a spot where Marc Bergevin has already made it very clear that this team that he has assembled is pretty much the team that he wants to go all in with. Because of the fact that you're in a position where Frolik, Caufield, Paling, a lot of these guys aren't able to be called up because of the salary cap issues, it leaves you with a roster where Stahl, Drouin, Suzuki, Deneau, all these guys, these are the guys that are gonna, make or break your games. And that's okay. That's cool. Waiting for Cole Caufield to play now versus waiting for him to play in a few months, that's not that big of a deal. I mean, it is kind of a big deal if you take a look at where exactly the Canadiens would be in the postseason should they have had a Caufield in their lineup instead, but the way things are going right now and the way the Canadiens have been playing, you can't realistically say that Cole Caufield is the be-all and end-all. And I'm the guy who's been making videos about literally every game this guy plays over the past, year and a half, pretty much. We've been talking about Caufield non-stop on this YouTube channel. But the Montreal Canadiens are in a spot where they've scored 4 goals in their previous 4 games played right now. Sure, they have the odd 4-goal performance once in a while, but these recent stretches of games, 2-1 win against Calgary. Okay, cool. You guys got 2. You guys had to really rely on Jake Allen to go out there and steal you that 2 points, because if you're scoring 2 goals a game, you're not going to win too many hockey games, but you might win some. Okay. May I remind you, the game before that, 4-1 loss against Calgary. Again, 1 goal for. Okay. Against Ottawa on the 17th, 4-0 shutout. Dude, you can't be losing to the Sens 4-0. And against Edmonton today, a game where you guys had the 1-0 lead the entire time. Jake Allen keeping you guys into this one, also relying on the luck of Connor McDavid fumbling the puck on a 2-0 shorthanded chance with Puljujarvi. This is a game that you blow. The final 10 minutes see 4 Edmonton goals. You guys were great for 40 minutes, but it crumbled away in the third period. Now, I know Carey Price, we'll see what happens with him. The chase-on hit on the disallowed goal caused something wrong to go on in there with Carey Price, and we'll see if there are any other implications made with the salary cap or whatever as a result of that. But the Montreal Canadiens are in a spot where it doesn't matter how talented their forwards are. The D pairings, they can't move the puck up with pace and speed. The forwards on this team can't convert more than once or twice in a game. The last week and a half here in April has been a very bad Montreal Canadiens offensively productive period, because this team, despite having the talent that we know they have to score points, are showing off to their true potential just the ceiling of some of these guys when you play them together in this kind of system. These lines don't have play drivers. They have complementary forwards who can get points when other players are getting points, but the past few games have seen very little when it comes to Montreal play drivers on offense. And sure, Cole Caufield could come in and he can do that. But if Cole Caufield comes out here, let's say he scores a goal a game in his time with Montreal, if he comes over here and the Canadiens start playing. Against Ottawa, that's still a 4-1 loss. Against Edmonton yesterday, that's still a 4-2 loss. Against Calgary, sure, you extend that win to 3-1. Against Calgary before, you lose 4-2. You still find yourselves in a position where the Canadiens are getting outscored, they're getting outchanced, and even with an extra goal a game from Cole Caufield, the team can still find ways to be far behind in terms of the competition on the score sheet. And so even though I've been sitting here the entire year talking about how good this guy can be, oh, he can do this, he can do that, he is the best sniper on the Canadiens lineup already, and he hasn't even played a game yet, he's just one guy. Hockey is a team sport. It's not like you can add one guy and all of a sudden, boom, half the games that you lost, you're now winning. Sure, do I believe if Caufield was here the past few weeks, the Canadiens might have won a few more than just 3 in their last 10? Maybe. But some of these losses here, there's some pretty beefy losses in the Canadiens' previous few games played. As we noted, 4-0 against Ottawa, 4-1 Edmonton, 4-1 Calgary, 5-0 to Winnipeg, and then the other 2 losses to Winnipeg and Toronto as well. This team's relying way too much on their goaltending, and it's kind of pitiful that Jake Allen can have such a performance like he did the previous night. Jake Allen was pretty alright yesterday. He was by far nowhere near the problem. But the Montreal Canadiens still were only able to score 1 goal. There's a lot else that needs to be improved with the way these systems run in Montreal that one Cole Caufield or one Ryan Poehling can come in here and fix. And so, even though if you can find a way to maneuver the cap to actually allow Caufield to be on your team, that'd be awesome. You're gonna have to still do more, because just Caufield by himself is not enough to bring the Canadiens back into a territory where fans can comfortably say they're going to make the playoffs. And while I do believe they will make the playoffs, they're at 47 points in 43 games played right now. The Canucks, man, I don't want to make it seem like I'm rooting for my Vancouver Canucks to win and make the playoffs or whatever, but I don't want to say the possibility of Montreal missing out on the playoffs is non-existent, because I definitely do think there's a chance. I just personally would not say it's very high, but the chance is still there. So, for Montreal, guys, you guys have been lowering down there. I mean, the 3rd place gap from Edmonton to Montreal has gotten a lot wider now, especially with yesterday's game. But Cole Caufield, even though he is probably the most hyped up guy since sliced bread over here on the East Coast, I don't think he's the solution as to what is ultimately a bigger set of problems for Marc Bergevin and Ducharme. So talk to me in the comments what you think about this entire conversation here. Am I being too harsh on the Canadiens? Am I underestimating Cole Caufield? Is there an argument that exists that you can say to me in the comments if you want, that says, oh, Lego, you're wrong, because if Caufield joins the team, then X, Y, Z, and as a result, we would win a whole bunch more hockey games. You can try to convince me, for sure. There's definitely a lot of discussion to be had here. That's why the comment section even exists, right? But my own perspective is that Caufield is not enough to fix this team. You can let me know in the comments if you disagree or if you agree. But in general, just talking about Caufield and the Poehlings and the Jake Evans and the Caden Primos, whether or not any of these guys get called up as emergency recall for Carey Price or whatever, if Carey Price can go on the LTIR, I'm not really too sure about all that stuff, but regardless, I don't think Caufield by himself is enough, but, of course, you can disagree or agree in the comments section below. If you want a chance to be featured in the next Canadiens video, just comment a simple one. Let's do Badgers, because obviously the Wisconsin Badgers were Caufield's NCAA team. It's an easy correlation there for sure. Talk to me in the comments what you think about all that stuff. I hope you enjoyed this. It was Josh Rolls 99, and bye.